God's habitation. For though I am free from all men, I have made myself a servant to all, that I might win the more. Now this I do for the gospel's sake, that I may be partaker of it with you. Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it, and everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable crown. Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty. Thus I fight, not as one who beats the air, but I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified. First Corinthians chapter 9 verse 19 to 27. How does becoming God's new habitation affect your daily life? First, stop sinning, since God's life and nature inside. How can we stop sinning? First, develop a hateful mind towards sin. Second, avoid every kind of sin. The apostle Paul writes, avoid every kind of evil. First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 22. The word avoid comes from the original Greek word apichomai, from the root word apecho, which literally means to distance. It means away from or hands off. We need to draw the line. Admittedly, there are things we should not touch in the first place. The apostle Paul writes, touch no unclean thing, Second Corinthians chapter 6 verse 17. Consider this. What are Eve's chances of eating the forbidden fruit if she is far from the tree or has not even seen or touched it? None. Therefore, the farther you are from sin, the less your chances are of committing it. This means that there are movies that you should not watch. The violence or immoral scenes a person commits are directly related to the show or movies they watch. Everything that enters the eyes leads to the mind. Everything in the mind descends to emotions. Everything in emotions leads to actions. This means that there are music that you should not listen to. Music is a powerful force and influence, and it has the ability to influence society. Godly music helps you think and feel more godly, whereas worldly music makes you more worldly. This means that there are Facebook or any social media sites that you should not like, follow, or share. We know the power and influence of social media. Social media or Facebook, for example, in itself is not bad. It has good uses, but because of bad people, it is also used for their evil deeds. Just be intentional. Unfollow people who are not encouraging you to become more Christ like every day in every way. The Apostle Paul said, whatever you do, including social media, do it all for the glory of God. First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31. Grace in its purest form. You do not stop sinning to be saved. Rather, because you are truly saved, you stop sinning. Stop sinning is not a man's work added to grace. Rather, it is grace in its purest form from the inside out. The Apostle Paul writes, for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Philippians chapter 2 verse 13. When you are under grace, sin loses its dominion over you. Paul writes, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under law, your works, but under grace. Christ's finished work. Romans chapter 6 verse 14. Because of God's grace in our lives, we have become God's new habitation. This grace teaches us to deny sin and to live with holiness in this world. The Apostle Paul writes, for the grace of God that brings salvation has appeared to all men. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. Titus chapter 2, verse 11 to 12. We should tell ourselves we are God's new habitation and we hate sin. How does becoming God's new habitation affect our daily life? Second, stop worrying, for we have God resources inside. The second application of this in our life is to stop worrying. Inside your born again spirit are the resources of God. We should not worry because everything we need for life has been given to us already. Second Peter chapter 1 verse 3. The apostle Paul strongly argues that if God did not spare his own son but gave him up for us all, what else he cannot give? Romans chapter 8 verse 32. And since he has given us everything along with his son, therefore we are complete in him. Colossians chapter 2 verse 10. Why worry? David the psalmist said, "The Lord is my shepherd, I have everything I need." Psalm chapter 23 verse 1. In YLT version, "The Lord is my shepherd, I do not lack." Do not be anxious. You will not lack anything that God has prepared for you through the finished work of Christ. To God be the glory. God bless you.